The layoff nobody saw coming. A marketing manager logs into work and finds her access revoked overnight. The internal memo cites AI workflow optimization. The company announces a 30% productivity gain after AI integration. Similar announcements are now appearing across tech, finance, and consulting firms. This is the white-collar collapse, and the economics behind it make it almost impossible to reverse. Contract bots now draft and review legal agreements from start to finish, flagging compliance risks and even triggering negotiation loops without human input. In finance, AI engines generate full earnings reports in under 5 minutes, a job that once tied up junior analysts for days. Marketing teams are watching campaign engines like Jasper absorb the entire creative workflow. From ingesting market data to launching ad copy and scheduling posts, slashing agency spend by 45% for early adopters. In software, code writing assistants such as Copilot have evolved into autonomous developers, delivering production-ready modules with 50% faster turnaround and fewer bugs than traditional teams. These tools have moved beyond assistive features. Kira's contract system now completes routine legal documents end-to-end, reducing manual hours by as much as 40%. GPT-powered finance platforms produce SEC, ready filings on demand. Jasper's campaign engine takes over the entire marketing funnel, while Copilot's enterprise rollout has led to lower demand for junior software engineers as code generation becomes a matter of prompt, not painstaking manual work. Across these sectors, the leap is not just in speed or accuracy, it is in autonomy. AI systems are executing entire workflows, often requiring human oversight only when confidence scores dip below a preset threshold. Companies are building governance layers to audit these outputs, but the core reality is clear. The tools are no longer just helpers. They are functional replacements, quietly absorbing work that once filled the calendars of entry-level and mid-level professionals. Consulting giants moved quickly once AI tools proved they could handle more than just repetitive grunt work. In early 2024, McKinsey circulated an internal memo stating that they will defer planned analyst hiring as the knowledge engine delivers 30% productivity improvements across client research. The CFO on the next earnings call linked these gains directly to a 15% projected reduction in research associate headcount. At Goldman Sachs, the 2023 annual report described a 31% jump in analyst hour efficiency after deploying an AI-accelerated deal pipeline. The head of global markets explained that routine data aggregation now requires fewer junior analysts because AI handles the bulk of it. The logic spread across sectors. Salesforce's 2024 HR survey confirmed a hiring freeze for junior marketers, echoing the chief people officer's statement that AI had enabled the first wave of staffing optimization. The company's new marketing automation suite was credited with a 34% increase in campaign turnover and a 20% cut in copywriter roles. These are not isolated anecdotes. Internal documents and public statements reveal a pattern. Companies tout double-digit productivity gains, then quietly freeze hiring or trim junior staff, using AI as both the rationale and the mechanism. For frontline employees, the impact was immediate. Entry-level pathways narrowed as AI systems took over the research, drafting, and creative work that once justified onboarding new talent. Corporate leaders, pressed by shareholders for margin improvements, found it easier to point to AI-driven efficiency than to justify keeping redundant roles. The era of AI-enabled restructuring had begun, not with a bang, but with a series of memos, hiring freezes, and vanished job postings. A junior analyst's loaded salary, base pay plus benefits, averages $85,000 plus another 30%, bringing the annual outlay to around $110,000. For a mid-level role, the figure climbs past $170,000. In contrast, an enterprise-grade AI stack, covering licensing, compute, and support, lands between $70,000 and $120,000 per year, depending on intensity of use. The math is even starker at the usage level. Azure's Open AI service charges just 3 cents for every 1,000 tokens processed, translating to roughly $12,000 for a full year of heavy workflow automation. Jasper's marketing suite runs $14,400 annually per enterprise seat. A single AI subscription can operate around the clock, scale instantly, and never calls in sick. Executives look at these numbers and see a payback window measured in months, not years. At a 30% productivity gain, the figure cited in internal memos at McKinsey and Google, the investment in AI pays for itself in 2 to 4 months. Even conservative scenarios with just a 10% labor reduction deliver break even in under a year. The economic logic becomes hard to ignore. Every junior employee replaced by an AI agent frees up tens of thousands of dollars, while the AI's cost remains fixed and predictable. For decision makers under pressure to widen margins and satisfy shareholders, the rationale for accelerating automation is not just compelling, it is nearly irresistible. Job boards that once overflowed with entry-level opportunities now show a steady decline. LinkedIn's economic graph recorded a 27% year-over-year drop in marketing associate postings by late 2024. Legal assistant roles on Indeed fell 22%, mirroring the rollout of contract automation tools at major firms. Burning Glass data points to an 18% decrease in junior software engineer listings as enterprise AI coding platforms become the new norm. The contraction is sharpest in cities like San Francisco and New York, where white-collar pipelines once promised upward mobility for thousands of graduates each year. University placement offices are feeling the squeeze. Top law schools report a 15% reduction in on-campus recruitment, with firms now preferring applicants who already have experience with AI-driven workflows. Marketing programs have seen a 12% dip in summer internship offers, while computer science departments note a 9% drop in software placements at large companies. For new graduates and early career professionals, the traditional on-ramp into corporate life is quietly narrowing, replaced by a demand for AI fluency that few can claim straight out of school. The signals are easy to miss if you're not looking at the numbers, but for those hoping to start their careers, the silence is growing harder to ignore. The reality of AI-driven office work is measured not just in vanished job postings, but in a surge of anxiety that ripples through every open-plan workspace and home office. A recent Pew survey shows 62% of white-collar professionals now worry that AI will sharply limit their job prospects. For many, the response is urgent and personal. The marketing manager who found her access revoked is not alone. Her former colleagues are enrolling en masse in retraining programs, hoping to stay relevant. Coursera reports a 210% spike in registrations for AI-focused business courses over the past year, with prompt engineering and AI ethics among the most popular tracks. Bootcamps that once promised a path into tech now promise AI-proof skills, and some, like IBM's Skills Build, claim 85% of participants land new roles within 6 months. But behind these numbers is a quieter story. Professionals racing to outpace the technology that is changing their fields, balancing hope for a future in AI-augmented work, with the fear that retraining may not be fast enough. The psychological toll is visible in LinkedIn posts, career forums, and hallway conversations. where ambition collides with uncertainty, and the definition of a stable career is rewritten in real time. AI-driven firms now command a growing share of the world's economic power. In the United States, just 5 companies, Microsoft, OpenAI, Google, Amazon, and Meta, control more than 45% of all AI-related revenue. Their collective profit share jumped from 12% in 2020 to 23% in 2024, reflecting a rapid concentration of wealth around AI platforms. As profits soar and margins widen, policymakers are scrambling to respond. The European Union has drafted an AI tax aimed at capturing a portion of these gains for public reskilling funds. In Washington, lawmakers have introduced a bill requiring companies to disclose AI-driven layoffs and fund workforce transition grants. Finland is running a national pilot of universal basic income, specifically for workers displaced by automation. Other proposals include quarterly AI impact reports and levies on high-risk generative models. These experiments reveal a global search for answers. Who benefits from the productivity boom? And how can societies prevent a permanent divide between owners of AI infrastructure and everyone else? By 2029, the pace of automation is set to accelerate beyond anything white-collar work has seen before. The MIT SAIL lab forecasts that 70% of routine tasks in finance, law, and marketing could be fully automated within 5 years. Scenario models lay out a spectrum. In the most conservative case, companies trim 5 to 10% of full-time roles as AI handles 1/3 of all tasks. In more aggressive, automation-heavy scenarios, 20 to 30% of jobs disappear as digital departments take over entire workflows. At the outer edge, startup-light organizations push toward 35 to 45% workforce reduction, with lean teams, vast AI infrastructure, and almost no entry-level hiring. For the marketing manager whose access was revoked, the future is already here. Her job is now a prompt in an AI system, and her former team has been replaced by dashboards and audit logs. The next 5 years will test whether retraining can keep pace, or whether the silent contraction of white-collar work becomes a permanent fixture of the economy. Today, AI-driven layoffs are no longer a warning. They are a reality unfolding across industries. As companies automate core knowledge work, entire career ladders are being redefined in real time. The question now is not whether your job will change, but how soon. The future of white-collar work starts now.